Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. This is your host, Chris and Deepom here. And we're back to deal with a show that gets us all in our feelings. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Season 5, Episode 8, The Last Day. It's only fucking 8 episodes! What the fuck is going on? Coulson and the team discover the most unexpected person on the S.H.I.E.L.D.'s past may hold the key to stopping Earth's destruction. I
want to give the same PSA I gave earlier in the show. And I didn't think I needed to say it again. I really didn't. If you're going to watch a CW show followed by Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., make sure you do it in that order. Do not, I repeat, do not watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then try to follow up with CW show. It will not go well for the CW show.
I've tried both times and it doesn't work for me either way. Like, I just need to...
The thing is, but your mind can do the other one first because we did it for at least 2 years.
Yeah, but it always fucks with me. You know what it is? You know what I got to do? You know what I got to do? I figure I know what I got to do. I got to put 2 days in between.
Nigga, I forgot that. I thought we were recording on Saturday, not Sunday, so I stayed up Friday night and watched them both.
Yeah, no. I watched them.
My calendar, I was like, God damn it.
I watched them both this morning, and I can't do that. I from now on, I must always. I gotta watch I gotta watch the CW show and then do like Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. like right the morning of or something like that. Like I can't do this anymore. It's not fair.
It's really and that's the thing.
It's not fair.
They're two different shows trying to do two different things.
Right, and it's not fair to me.
It's not fair. One's trying to be a higher, elevated version of the CW shows you've seen in the past, and that's what they mostly achieved. Mm-hmm. The other one is trying to be a seminal sci-fi show that you talk about for fucking years, and it's mostly achieved.
Right. And it's just, they're like you said, they're two different.
It's aiming for a different goal than the CW show.
It actually is, and it just is. And dog, listen. All right, you know what it did to me this episode? When I realized that when Robin said her mother and mom, she was talking about Agent May.
When you realize that they never have to say goodbye to each other, because we'll get to like some of the larger implications later on, but let's say that they do break the time loop. When May died, she was there. And when she died, May was there. So they literally never have to say goodbye to each other because it's never both of their. It's fucking haunting and beautiful.
Yes,
and I love it. And that's I wanted to actually say that for last, but like, I'm sorry, this is a show about a team of spies who are trying to save the world, got sent in the future, and are trying to liberate Earth from a despotic rule by alien Kree. And I was brought fucking nearly to tears by watching May and this little girl have this relationship and watching it grow, not over the course of like a season. And that's what people say, oh, there's not enough economy in the television series. You have to do spurt of episodes. No. 1 hour. 1 hour.
Well, this goes back to what we said on The Flash, right? If they had done little montages of show has changed in time in the episode. I
was like, all right, this is getting creepy.
Because this is literally what Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. does.
They're doing it in real time.
Because we get somehow May and Robin and them, they're on the Zephyr, and then it goes down. They survive that. Then we get them at the lighthouse. Then we get the whole thing with apparently the Kree are there. And then we also, at some point, we also get the whole idea of whatever happened. Because I think what happens with Daisy and them doesn't involve the Kree. Because
no, it's pre-Kree.
It's pre-Kree. So it's like there are so many. So when they showed us the flashbacks of what happened in the past, it wasn't linear. We were seeing different time jumps in that itself, showing the different patches of time. Like and
that's why people have questions on the episode. I'd say go back and pay attention to the dates they give you at each time jump.
Yes,
it's important.
Yes. Like it's different dates, it's different who's there, who's not, when because at one point you even see because there's that one point where we know that Gemma's alive, but then we find out later on when Fitz gets really mad at Robin, Gemma died. You have another moment when Mac's dead because Yo-Yo's going up to fight the Kree because she has the Kree battle axe. So that's way after whatever happened with Daisy. Like. There's a lot going on here.
And also, we get verification that the group, and so part of me was like, this is an alternate timeline where they didn't go to the future. When Fitz name dropped Voss, I was like, oh shit, we're trying something new here.
Yeah, it's the same group. That was a nice little throw into. I was like, wait, he just mentioned Voss, who is up in the shit.
When Yo-Yo dismisses her for saying Flint, that could be someone just saying, we know you talked about this guy before, we're never going to meet him.
So
I'm talking people who were born 80 years from now.
And look, I'm so sorry that we're jumping over here, but like this show, this episode has got so much shit into it.
We're jumping all over the place, but this episode started it.
Right. We pretty much. Owen is Hunter, right?
Say again?
Owen is Hunter. Like, Deke's father is Hunter, right? The reason why I say that is because at one point they name drop that they're using different names.
That's a really good point.
And I'm like, yo, it could be Hunter using a different name because because at that point, nobody's name other than, what their old names are mean anything.
See, for me, Deke is Fitzsimmons' kid.
Could be. Well, but then he would think,
raised by a different mom and dad because they both died. And that's why his mom had a piece of the monolith.
Yes, and that's a good point. And then the other question I have then is, you know what? Shit. Did Deke and Fitz ever? Did Deke and Fitz ever were they ever in the same room and meet? They did meet. Okay, you're right. You're right. They did.
Because Daisy says, "This is the guy who got me trapped." She goes, "Yeah, shoot him."
Oh, that you know what? Fitz being Deke's dad is actually better than Hunter. That's even more fucked up. That's I like that. That's really good because then, yeah. Yeah.
I'm here for it, man.
I got to go back now and listen to Deke's father's voice on the radio now.
Yo, is he British?
What is that? What do you sound
even
like?
If it's not Fitz at that moment, we know that when people die, like, because May became Robin's mom.
Yes.
So someone, if Simmons died in the past, as we already know she did, after they were developing the time machine, if she died post having the kid, before the kid grew up, and another woman raised him.
Yes.
And that's why she had the piece of the monolith, because whoever Simmons bequeathed her child to would be someone she would trust enough with the monolith.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice in the scene where they're building the time machine, they're wearing wedding rings.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. Oh.
They're wearing wedding rings. This show will fuck with you, man.
Yo, this show. I'm sorry. This episode here it drops so much stuff in it. I'm actually mad I didn't watch it twice. Like this, I've gotten good at not having to watch episodes. I wish I had watched this one twice because there is just, boy. Like when I saw that the monolith was broken, I was like, instantly I was like, well, we know what Flint's used for.
Yo, I told you last week. I was like, well, not even that. Well, you lead the way. I'll chime in where I
don't know where to lead from, sir.
I have too much to say about this show.
I don't know where to lead from. Shit.
Let's lead from the team arriving on Earth.
Okay. Yeah.
Which shouldn't be a big deal as much as we're saying this.
Yeah, it really. I mean, it really didn't matter because you know what, they treated it as like it was nothing either. You know, because at one point I think Daisy and Coulson are talking. And it's like, so anyone who can help us is dead or wants us dead. So status quo, and that sums it up. Like that's just that's about how it works. And so we get this. We see Robin, and they kind of tell us what's going on with Robin. That she's basically the way her powers work, which also kind of goes back to, I guess, when we first met her. That it makes me wonder, like, has she always been like this? Has she always been like her powers always work where she's trapped between the present and the future, or in the past, or whatever it is she sees, and so that's why she can't fully communicate what's going on because she sees it all. Like there's that one moment when she says that where she had told Fitz about Gemma dying again, and it was like she said, "I forgot that I had told you this." You know, and oh man, it's just. I also like the fact that, because this goes back to the way the show ties everything back to previous seasons. Remember, the time we met Robin and her father, as Inhumans was the same day that Fitz gave us that speech about time travel and why, you can't fix the past and why you can't change time. You can't change it. And we literally have now in this episode, we see that this is exactly what they're going to be trying to do. Mm-hmm. I got nothing, man.
Did Robin lie to Ramona to make her feel better? I've never seen that vision where we saved the world. Mm-hmm. Fuck, that's deep.
Well, yeah, she said, I'd never seen it, but then she says at the end, she's like, I didn't see it because it hadn't happened yet. I wasn't around for that. So, oh, man. This is some good shit, yo, man. I don't... So good. I like, go ahead.
Wow, because, the more you think about it, so there are two styles, basically, of time travel in entertainment. There's one we've already seen. Time is an immutable stream. Everything's occurring at once. You can't affect it at all. The second kind is Back to the Future style, where Twin Oaks becomes Single Oaks, and he almost sleeps with his mom.
Never forget that part about that, okay, guys? You never forget that. You can never forget that.
The entire central conceit of Back to the Future is near incest.
Right.
Near self-incest is weird.
Oh, God, yeah, that's just weird.
Anyway.
It's important. I'm sorry, there's an important detail, though.
It's important to know because the system that we've been established, the things they've showed us is that we're on these loops. And Robin's entire thing in this episode reinforces these loops. These things have happened before. They will happen again. They continue to happen. What Robin now is positing, and I wish we were doing a video because I'm spinning my finger in a circle like an idiot. What Robin's positing is this way off. And I think it happens when she says it to Yo-Yo. We need Flint. Mm-hmm. I think Flint coming back is the key to saving this. And let's talk about Voss's shitty plan. On its face, shitty plan, because guess what? If she's here, that means she gets back and destroys the world. So there's no point in trying to kill her because you can't kill her because that's how time in the universe works.
But you got to understand that they don't know that.
But I'm saying, as Voss, as someone in that moment, you're like, all you see is the ability to save billions of people.
Right.
And so Voss's faith and belief and love for these people is what allowed him to take the chance to try to change time. He failed. What Robin has done is she's infused May with that same hope, that same sense of purpose, that you too can change the world. We'll see if she succeeds or not. I think what's really interesting is that Mac doesn't make it back pretty clearly, and Flint is the replacement black cast member. I say that because whatever went wrong with Daisy, the last time Daisy Johnson was seen alive, she stepped off a Zephyr, the city had already been evacuated, which means something else was already going down. And Daisy either had the wrong power set or was manipulated in destroying the world. Right? Mm-hmm. Flint's powers are to manipulate land masses, manipulate the ground. He created a human, and what do we always say? Every human has a purpose. Mm-hmm. This human was created in space where there is no Earth.
To bring Earth, to put Earth back together. To manipulate Earth
together. He's there to make sure it never breaks. Mm-hmm. He's the stabilizing agent that will save them in that moment. That's what's going to happen in the season. Spoilers if you that mad at me. However, the journey to get there is one of emotion resonance because the only reason they're ever going to have a chance is because one, Rose told May how to get back. Mm-hmm. Robin, told May how to get back. And two, she instilled in May that hope, that belief, that drive, that desire that I have to go back and I have to save the world. And now I can because it's not just about me and my friends. This little girl who loves me, who spent a lifetime with me, who I still have to raise, exists.
And the funny thing about it is, like, early in the episode, we had a conversation between May and Coulson about when May's basically saying that she was worthless. She doesn't have superpowers. She's a fighter, but she's injured right now, so she's not 100% and can't fight. She's like, I'm not a scientist. Like, I don't have what am I to do? What is my purpose now? If I'm none of that stuff, and Coulson says, well, you're my right hand woman who can handle all my stuff. You're the person I trust most. But now Robin has given her, like, you are the key. You are the one that helped save the world, and it's only up to you to be able to do all of this. And so it was great to see that duality of them adding that. Again, the show does a really good job of building characters in a short amount of time. That was just 2 quick scenes. It seemed like a throwaway conversation between Coulson and May, and then it turns into something bigger when you have that final scene with Robin and May. And you're like, oh shit, no, this is giving May purpose now.
Oh, even deeper than that, Chris? It's an inversion of the Hydra of the framework, because her decision to save the Inhuman girl there gave her a purpose to destroy Inhumans. Mm-hmm. Now she's saving an Inhuman girl here, giving her the purpose to save the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking beautiful. Like it's ridiculously well done.
Yeah, this is just. There should be, at some points, there will need to be master classes written on the writing on and themes of Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. because holy shit, man. Like it's just so great. This also brings up to something we've mentioned before. So remember when Fitz was back in the present day, we had that lieutenant colonel and was up to some shit. So now it makes you go, okay, so we know again, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. does this great thing of having you look at the shiny object in one hand and ignore the other hand. I think that the shiny object in one hand is the Kree. But we know from the flashbacks again here that the Kree only showed up after shit hit the fan. And that's when Yo-Yo was like, no, we know they're going to try to enslave us. No, we know they're going to do this. We can't trust them. They're trying to help us. And, May's like, well, we have no other choice right now. So that means something happened before the Kree got down. So that means, okay, that takes us back to that secret facility that Fitz was at, and what the fuck were they working on? And who the fuck are those people? And what the fuck did they do? Everybody goes, like, I think part of the thing about what happened with Daisy is, I think they hooked Daisy up to something. I don't think it's Daisy actually went out there, and I think she was captured and used to amplify her powers or something like that, and that's what happened.
She's yelling at someone on the Zephyr.
Yeah.
And then she runs into the city.
So we'll see. Like
she was going, yeah, we'll see.
It's just like, here's the thing. This is why we can do this with this show is I don't fucking know. Like there's so many different possibilities they can go with right here, and like they do a great job of they do this every time. They answer some questions, and then they give us 20 more. Like in this episode, excuse me. We see the flashbacks of Fitz and Simmons basically starting. And what did they say? It was like 10 years? It was going to take them 10 years to build that machine?
Yeah.
Started building a machine for 10 years for the future so that at some point they'll be able to use that and go back. Like, it's... the way they handle time travel on this show is just... And it's not even, I'm sorry, we're saying time travel. It's not time travel. It's a time loop. We're watching different moments in time, and we're watching this group. They got shoved to the future, and that I guess that's the time travel there. But we're seeing everything else that's happening is just them kind of living out like the life that happened over that 90 years. Like it's such a great show, man. Such a great show.
It's they came out and I did what I don't do. I read a review of this. People were like, it gets confusing and muddled. No, it's not muddled or overstuffed is what they say. Nope.
Mm-mm. No, you're not,
because you're getting focused on like the minutiae and like what about it's about the emotional through lines like that, and that's I think the core of the show. I think that's really been the most informative part of the show is that this is about people.
If you want to be honest, it's about family.
Well done. Well said.
It's family. Like, because, like, so at one point, Daisy and Deke bond over the daddy issues, right? When Deke is talking about how he left on bad terms with his dad when his dad was gone, and he's like, Daisy's like, yeah, same thing happened with my dad. And when he saw me, he was, he was enthusiastic to try to make up for lost time. It's like, it's what happens. And like, they had that bond over that. You see the whole thing with, You know, like when May sees Daisy for the first time again. It's like we forget, like Daisy, May and Coulson for the longest time kind of felt like surrogate parents for Daisy. You know, and then you have May and Robin. You find out that May basically became Robin's mother, and you have it's just this incredible thing, like that moment where you find out where Robin's like, mom, and you look over and it's May and she answers. Like this goes back to a part of May we never saw. And if you think about it, it goes back to, remember, I want to say, wasn't kids one of the things that was a problem between her and what's his name? Her husband.
Oh,
I can't remember his name. May's husband.
I'm blanking. It's Blair Underwood.
Yeah, right. I wanted to say Blair, and I'm like, wait, no, it's not Blair. But you get it. Like that was one of the things. Because again, remember, she killed a kid. She killed an inhuman kid. You know?
Yeah. And
so it's like to see this softer side of May now, and Robin saying the reason why she in the future, she was like, May's like, I don't understand how would this happen? She's like, you were the only one that, believe me, you're the only one that
I wasn't scared of what I can do.
Right. And again, when you think of who May is, and we think of May as the scariest person on the team, right? The one who will kill you and kick your ass, because that's May. She's the one. And again, if you think about everything that's happened on the show, she has done this repeatedly, and it's great. You go back, now we go back onto the lighthouse, and you have Mac and Elena, and they're basically being surrogate parents to Flint. Mm-hmm. It's like this show has always been about family. Always been about family. Hell, you go all the way back to Ward. The thing that killed Ward, that sent Ward down the dark path, was his family was fucked up. And he ends up killing his family, and then who became his new family? Mm-hmm. It's like it's always revolved around that. And I think that's what makes this show so good. It's always been about family. And so you get the crazy moments, you get the Inhumans, the shit with, the Inhuman stuff going off. You then get Daisy finding out who her real parents were.
And you could have that moment with Deke where she's like, yeah, my dad was, I had my dad for years too. And they had the moment where they both kind of screwed up and scarred by their fathers. Mm-hmm. Or their lack of father, I should say.
Yeah. So, like, man.
And the thing is, this is all the heavy stuff. There's still a lot of fun shit because Mac is a shotgun axe back.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't the axe make it harder to shoot? But it makes it easier to chop heads off. 10 minutes later, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, you do, son. We'll figure it out.
Oh, my God. When, first of all, every time they do Yo-Yo's, a scene with Yo-Yo, her power, they do an amazing job. So that scene with her going and putting the things on each of the roaches and then they disintegrate, and that was awesome. But then Flint going, hey, that's she not the dial it back, Pebbles. And I'm like, yeah, Mac.
Do it in Pebbles.
Right. That's my girl. That's my woman. Like, you need to slow down a little bit, man.
Wouldn't that explain kind of like why Mac stays? Mm-hmm. But if they can get Flint to go back with them and say, Mac, just like the framework, this universe is lost. This timeline is going to get erased.
Well, here's the thing. I think Mac did go. It's not. So here's the question. And maybe Mac did go back, but he still died.
See, my thing is, I think Mac would find a purpose as a father for Flint.
True.
That's why he would stay.
True. Valid. But I will say this, but that's the other thing too about this is, I don't think that timeline that we saw, they had been there yet, because again, they didn't.
Oh, they had, because remember he references Voss.
But that doesn't mean that he references Voss, but that just might mean that Voss is there at that point.
No. He says, we tried to stop it. Voss tried to stop it. Daisy knew what would happen when he came back, and it still happened.
Well, that isn't. Oh, okay.
Like that, and that for me is the only way I know that this has happened before.
True.
And so now something different has to happen.
Right.
They have to change it some way. There's a really great issue of that latest Silver Surfer run with Dan Slott, which, if you haven't read it, guys, one comic will make you cry. That's it. But there's an issue where they tell the same story 4 or 5 times until Surfer realizes that he's in a time loop and something has to do. He has to change something to get out. And until he realizes he's in a loop. Like, that's why I think that it's going to look like they failed. They're setting up to think that they failed, but this is just the latest iteration of them trying to break that loop.
Right.
It's honestly like the Matrix, where they say, this has all happened before. It's because we're being shown a more zoomed out version of it. We're like, yes, this actually has all happened before. What are they going to do different now? And we don't know, because now, by killing Robin, they've done a good narrative job of saying no one who knows the path is left.
Right.
No one knows definitively until we get to the past. And Robin was able to drop some hints. You got to remember that she handed May that picture of the ship. She said, "Honey, not time for this." She says, "No. It's to remind you later."
Right.
And then she showed it again in the past.
Exactly.
She said, "Not time for it." So that's meant. I think it means once they break that loop, that drawing's going to mean something.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's meant for outside the loop. Like, and that's one thing that gave me hope that maybe Robin in the end wasn't lying to May.
Yeah. Like it.
That maybe there's an escape hatch. Maybe there isn't a way out.
Yeah. It's there's just so much stuff here. I love the when Robin said that the reason why she picked them at that moment at the diner because that was the last time they knew they were all together. And I'm like, okay, well, shit. Like, I think that got everybody too. It's like, oh, well, damn. So, yeah. It's just so much here. This is going to be great. Like, it's to the point where, like, we still got Cassie and Sonara again a little bit. And I was like, oh, yeah, they do exist. Like, that's the crazy thing about it is, like, oh, yeah, they still have the Kree to deal with, and I'm, like, not worried about that anymore because, like it goes to kind of what they put us as the audience in Coulson's position because Voss and them were like, well, we got to go and we're going to storm the lighthouse, we're going to take back, kill the Kree and stuff like that. And Coulson like, yeah, that's a good point over here. But what about this piece over here? Yeah, I gotta go talk to the rest of the team because we're gonna handle that, but we got some other stuff to handle real quick because this seems actually more important. Like there's so much stuff going on, you have to pick and choose what's the important thing. And I think because of the again, it's only been 8 episodes, they've been making it seem like the Kree are the important thing here, but they seem to just be, the end of the line. The Kree came up when everything else happened. So now it's like, okay, so how do we avoid getting to this part here now? And, boy. I don't know, man.
And the thing is, with the Sonora at the very end, all the problems we thought we had just got magnified.
Right.
because unless you've seen them in the past when they go back, their lives are on the line. No one ever mentions Philip J. Coulson.
Yes.
At any point in the past.
I noticed that too. He was the one person that nobody mentioned.
He never comes up.
Never. Like, because here, and we talked about this. Like, wouldn't that be the cool thing though? This is a show that has, survived so long, and it started with off being, Coulson here, Coulson there. Coulson dies. The show, by the way.
The show started with Coulson dying.
Right, dies again. But here's the thing: he could, that could work. Like the show doesn't need him, anymore because they built up everybody else so well. Oh man. This is just, boy. When is it? What episode is their 100th episode?
Ooh, I think they passed it already.
I want to say that's 12. Yeah, it's got to be episode 12.
I'm looking up right now
because it's 22 episode seasons, so that'd be 88 episodes. So that'd be episode 12 of season 5. 'Cause I know they just they shot it recently. So
they're doing the Road to 100. I guess they're doing like an art series for Agents of Shield on the comics as well.
Yeah, so
looks like it's going to be
March.
Wait, is Clark Gregg directing it?
Is he?
He said that something that ties into the episode he directed, Clark Gregg did, Fun and Games, earlier this season, will pay off in the 100th episode. So it's going to be gut-wrenching. And you've got to wonder if that's not how they end the series, if they just kill Coulson again.
I mean, I'm okay. I've said it before. I'm okay with this being the last season because they've been doing such a great job. But they've done it. They've done a lot. They've got a lot going.
They've done the most. They've
done the most. You're right. So, oh man, like this. Whew, boy, yeah. This has been getting me, man. And the way they do it, and yeah, you know it. I don't even know what to say anymore about this show.
It's really well done. It's so strong. And I think that people are trying to overthink the time travel stuff. Yes, there are going to be some things that make you uneasy about time travel, but that's a time travel story in general. If Flint leaves timeline A and enters timeline B, no matter what reading of time travel, you can either say, one, he's destined to be destroyed because of the time travel paradox, or two, the paradox is resolved by the dissolution of timeline A. So if you take a stone from stream A and put it in stream B, you irrevocably change the stream to stream B, but it doesn't destroy stream A.
Mm-hmm.
And if stream A goes away, that rock doesn't vanish. So there are ways for everyone to get out alive.
Mm-hmm.
There are ways for not as many people to get out alive as we think. We know what happened in the previous loops as far as Phil Coulson's never mentioned and Mac's not there.
Right.
And Sid at some point dies.
Yes.
Horrifically. Those are the three definitive, horrifically apparently.
Yes, very horrifically. They make a point of that.
God. I think I'm going to show me like, we may not kill him because he was put them together, but we could have.
We could
have done it. Go to what's she say? Horrifically.
Right. We decided not to. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're all very fucking welcome. It feels like doing us a favor, which, in other words, thank you.
Yeah. I do want to throw out something because I'm looking at some of the pictures from this. I'm getting an echo for some reason. Enoch was drawing a bunch of stuff. It seemed like he was drawing out he was laying out some, and nobody seemed to mention that. Again, there was for a team of spies, they kind of missed some stuff. He was laying out, it looked like some pictures that Robin had been drawing. He was writing in his notebook or something like that. So what is Enoch doing? That's also another good point, another good question, you know? So I think he might be also key here. So 8 episodes, man. We're only 8 episodes in.
Are you ready to speculate?
Let's speculate.
All right. Do you want to go first or me?
No, go ahead.
All right. You'll see Ward again.
Oh, of course. I mean,
LMDs are out there. They're running their own shit while we've been doing all this stuff in the future. You're not going to come back to the moment you were taken. Ward's coming back.
Oh, of course. I mean,
Coulson not being there in the past some way ties to the deal he made with Ghost Rider.
You know what? Thank you for reminding me about that, but I did forget about that. Yes.
3, the person Daisy's fighting in the evacuated city. By the way, I want everyone to stop what they're doing. Think about what it would take to evacuate a city. All right. Just because I want everyone to know the scale of whatever Daisy was running into.
Mm-hmm.
If she's going in there and fighting Graviton.
Yes.
Crack a planet.
Yes. You know what? Yes, because we had to mention that again last week.
No, last week. But guess what, Chris? What do they show us immediately thereafter when she's on the Zephyr right before they crash it? It's a gravity storm.
Gravity storm, yes.
Something happened with gravity. The planet breaking apart is not as simple as Daisy quaked to smithereens.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That would make sense.
In 4, Nick Fury is going to show up before the season's over. Those are my 4 bets.
You gotta get us another Nick Fury.
That last fight is Graviton.
Yep, that makes sense.
Flint being there to hold things together while she's tearing things apart will be the counterbalance that breaks the cycle.
Yep.
And if I'm wrong, God, if I'm right, cool. If I'm wrong, cool. Like
right.
That's the thing about the show is we're over here fantasy booking, but I don't feel like anything's beholden to saying, "Oh, that wasn't as good as what I planned in my head." I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a comic nerd. Our podcast next Wednesday will be largely on me telling people why Storm being in the MCU in Black Panther is a bad idea and why she doesn't need a solo movie.
You're going for high heat.
Black fucking
you're bringing the napalm next week. Oh,
what are we doing?
I'm loving it.
What are we doing?
I'm loving it.
Just because you like someone doesn't mean they're not part of a team or they operate best in a team dynamic. Just because they're your favorite. Like, I can't sit here and tell you why we should have a Havoc movie. I can, but it doesn't make it a good case. But truth be told, there are better Havoc limited series and ongoings than have ever been done for Storm.
Mailbag at MTRNetwork.net.
That Storm solo story you're dying to have told on the big screen.
Mailbag at MTRNetwork.net. Next week's gonna be fire.
At T-Palm 66.
No, but you're right.
Blood pressure up in 2018.
No, I'm glad you brought up Graviton because I'm like that again has been another thing. Because there's another thing too about remember they locked Graviton up somewhere underground in some facility.
And then they freed that nigga.
Right. So he's around somewhere, and if we have this military group who's doing something and now has all access. Remember, Shield's gone. And they now have access to all the shields.
They're the ones who were trusted with the level 7 type shit. Yep.
Exactly. So now you bring all that shit back. There you go. And they start messing with some shit that they don't understand. And shit hits the fucking fan. No, it makes fucking sense. Makes perfect sense. And again, what I love about it is we went to space in the future.
United States of Space, nigga. Like the opening shot to this episode is the Agents of Shield logo, Kree writing on the background, and a floating sliver of Earth that remains. Mm-hmm. Brava.
Now here's the question. We do all this stuff and everything happens and everybody makes it back. Does someone say like Sonara make it back too to also add to the problems?
That's fine.
Just because like
I've watched May whip her ass.
Yes. I need a finale of that.
I'm a lot less afraid of Sonara than I used to be.
She's technically had her ass whooped by both May and by Daisy, so you're right. You know what? You're right.
She got moved by Daisy with powers. She doesn't recognize that same ass whooping. That same energy comes without powers.
Right.
Know that about Daisy yet?
Right. She only won that fight against May because May was half a leg. So like
May was hurt. This is May Jr. That's the thing they're going to keep reminding people like, do not fuck with Daisy Johnson. And by the way, they're saving money by not using her powers for something fucking major.
Yeah.
They're going like if you really want to be real, past, present, and future. All this episode happens in about one set. Mm-hmm. 2 sets if you count the lighthouse stuff. That's something they had to build for the episode. By the way, these are all like sound stages. These aren't actual fucking. They didn't build the space station. Spoilers. Mm-hmm. So they're cutting down costs because it costs more to shoot outside. We know that it costs more to vary up your locations. They've been able to cut down costs this first 8 episodes by keeping it confined. The question now, Chris. So last year, they broke the season up into 3 parts. I did some looking, did some reading, did some math. It looks like 100th episode is scheduled to air March 9th, 2018. That's episode 12. So technically, that should be in 4 weeks. It's not. So that means we've got a gap coming. So if the gap goes, if either the gap's going to go 10, 12, because it's 22 episodes. Mm-hmm. We're either going to go 10, 12, which, by the way, would open the second arc, which means the second episode of the second arc would be 100, to be the devastating, road-breaking one, which you could do. But I think it's almost going to be 11-11. I think we're going to 11-11 split, and the episode back on March 9th is the one that's going to be this is clearly the dead sprint to the end. Because and they maybe get another season, but if they want to wrap it up, they've set a precedent right now that makes the next season hard to top. We went to the future and destroy the planet.
Right.
It's really hard to increase the drama from there.
Right. Oh man, this show, yo. Like I said, mailbag episodes next week. So send your theories and I guess to that. Mailbag at mtrnetwork.net. We'll be dealing with that and everything else going on here. This is just, this is a show, man. This is a show. This is the show. You got anything else you want to say about this?
If you have friends, neighbors, relatives, I've said this for a couple of years now, who ask you if the show is good, tell them no. Some people, other podcasts will tell you differently, say, no, we're trying to save the show, we're trying to get the ratings up. One, I don't believe the show's ever been in real danger.
No.
I always think that if Marvel told you it, if you know something about Marvel, you're supposed to know it. It's like my thing about pro wrestling. If it happened on television, it was supposed to happen. How many other infighting things do you know about Marvel? I'll wait. Mm-hmm. We knew Inhumans was a train wreck. That shit didn't leak till late. And for us to hear about maybe they won't renew something means it's coming. They want to draw anticipation. So, not worried about viewership. I think the show is one of it's protected. I think at this point we're protected. Syndication means you've hit a very special milestone, particularly in today's crowded TV landscape. All that being said, I'm so excited for what comes next. Like they could do a season 6, and I'd be here for it.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it. It's like they can end it or they can bring it back, and I don't really.
Or you could go to a different show. Like it could be Marvel launches something else because we made it very clear that Agents of that when Yo-Yo was going out to fight the Kree, we used to be Shield. What are we now? We're in the shadows, which is, by the way, where Shield started. Yo-Yo met Shield as a very public agency. But I think the dichotomy of them being driven back to the shadows at the end of the planet is kind of beautiful as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So.
Actually, you know what? I need season 6 so we can go back to the past and we can go to Jonathan Hickman's Shield series and the founding of the Shield, and that includes Leonardo da Vinci on ABC television.
Oh man, this show's great.
Oh, by the way, they scare us with the roaches. The roaches are not a problem anymore.
Oh no, but isn't that what this show does? They give us something that's like a huge problem, and I'm like, oh yeah, so remember that shit? Not a problem anymore. We took care of it.
Yo, Chris, you know that the Ghost Rider is going to be their way out of the future, right? Like you can't kill a demon; it's escape space and time.
Yeah.
Coulson said, I bet Coulson forfeited his soul. And the Kree are going to be bowing down to them as they're trying to open the door. And he says, I got this, y'all. We get Coulson Rider one more time.
The Coulson Rider.
Man.
In the future.
And I love how, you know what, and I'll be a bit, I'm a sucker for some time travel. I'm not going to lie. I just love how they were able to so elegantly tie up all the questions we had about, well, why the diner? Why these people? Because Robin said so. It's the last time you're all seen together alive.
No, I mean, I don't understand people who are confused.
To make it back.
I don't understand why people are so confused by I don't know why some people are so confused by the time travel part of it. Like it makes sense. It's probably the one thing in time travel that has actually made sense the way they've handled it.
Oh, I just got an answer. The show's off in February because, wait for it, Winter Olympics. Which spoilers will not be covered on UD Pod. I don't like the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, I don't care either. So
I'm a summer guy. I'm a wrestling, basketball guy.
So we're not getting the updates on curling championships and things like that from you.
Only curling updates because I'm still convinced if I got 5 of my friends together, a beer sponsored us, we could be the gold medal team next time. You give us 4 years and a limited amount of beer and say you got to learn how to curl, and you pay for the rest. Like if that's my only job for 4 years, we're getting the gold.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll just pick 4 of the homies. Like your 4 most athletically inclined friends. Why?
It's I'm very disrespectful of curling. It's like wait,
people I want to drink with and have fun with for the next 4 years because that's our training.
So you guys are athletes?
Not athletes, motherfucker, Olympians.
So I got so many questions about curling. Like, do they have like an Olympic Village training center? Like, what do they do? Like, how do you train?
There are 3 ice rinks in Atlanta, 2 of which offer curling lessons. I'm not saying I looked into this. I'm saying I'm looking for a sponsor. If you find someone to pay for my life for the next 4 years, I'll bring you a black curling gold. America.
The first black American
I'm
on the
saying
curling
it's the
team.
first black American curling gold. We're doing no research. Fairly confident. We don't know.
You know what the funny thing about it is? I think being the first black curler in America, like we're always like, oh wow, I can't believe in 2018 we're still going first. Like that's a first that I'm like, I'm okay with.
No, 2018 is about right. 2018 is about when we should have broken the curling.
Right. Wait.
No, 2018 is the sweet spot.
Wait, so you mean you turn Swiffer sweeping into an Olympic sport?
So you're on skates? No. I'm on tennis. I'm in tennis shoes, but you're on ice. Yeah, they're really grippy shoes. Wait. So what do? Well, one of us pushes the thing, okay, and the rest of you we sweep. What's that do? Speeds up or slows. I gotta look at the manual. One of the two, either speeds up or slows us down. But basically, we're trying to hit the sweet spot. So it's one person shuffleboard with brooms. Yes, that's exactly what it is. I mean, it just feels like something that if I get a sponsor, like, let's send the message, Black America. Let's find me a black sponsor to get us an all-black curling team for 2022.
They were the first all-black curling team.
Ba-da-ba-ba. It's a 30 for 30 ready to be made, motherfuckers. Let's make generational money.
Get off the ice, niggers.
And 30 for 30, that's our word.
He did not get off the ice. Instead, he doubled down.
Racial justice is a dish best served cold.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry.
Into my dedication to curling.
I'm sorry. I don't know how we got here, but I love it. This is why you guys subscribe to us, though, because you know we are fucking foolish.
Because when you see me on NBC in 4 years, you're like, I knew him win.
Right. Man, I used to listen to his podcast.
This nigga used to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now he's out here representing America.
Yeah, I'm just going to be the curling hype man. I'm just going to be...
Oh, look, nigga, there's a 6-person team. There's only 4 of y'all niggas on the ice. Somebody gets hurt. What the fuck are you talking about? These alternates. That's entourage, baby.
Oh, God.
I'm going to have me a hype man.
Oh.
Never let me tell you deep palm one ready.
Oh, I'm just going to walk up behind you and take your coat off like I'm taking off the coat of like a king or something like that.
Man, in the Winter Olympics, motherfucker.
Oh, you go out there and you show that ice who's boss.
I'm coming out in a James Brown jumpsuit. Welcome to America, playing in the background like Apollo Crews.
Man.
Y'all gonna hate my ass. Living in America.
We are terrible. Anyway.
It's only terrible if we pull it off.
Right. If
like,
you
right
let
now,
us...
it's jokes. Like, in 4 years, if I'm on that motherfucking platform with a big-ass top hat, red, white, and blue, with my fist up, getting the gold medal, then I'm terrible.
Oh, God. Oh. So, folks.
I'm a James Brown later, man. Living in America, baby. Ooh, spoilers, that's the UD Pod outro music for the day.
Thank you guys very much for listening to our podcast.
I'm sorry I ruined the back half of this episode.
Oh, I think that's just perfect. This is what you guys get when you subscribe to the Super Tuesday Recap podcast, folks. You can find us Super Tuesday Recap.mtrnetwork.net, or you can just search for Super Tuesday Recap on iTunes, Stitcher Radio. And you can also get us on YouTube, MTR Network, youtube.com/MTR Network. I know we still have we're going to be having, I got to talk to Deepam, Jeff, and Shanna. We got to get our next gifted review out of the way. So we'll be doing that because that's over.
Oh, and I'm calling my shot. This summer, a Fringe podcast is happening. Fuck Chris if he watches it or not. I don't give a shit. I started rewatching it this week. Fringe is happening this summer. DM me. Tweet me if you guys want to be involved. Like, tell me how we should do format wise. I'm taking all the notes. It's going to be, I don't know if we do premium. I will talk about it, but this show is happening with or without you, Chris.
I just want everybody to know that without prompting, Deepam has signed himself up for another podcast series. I had nothing to do with this, and I don't want, when he comes in.
You're watching it, push me here, motherfucker. Don't have to Not this is next. People who want to know how do you manipulate people? This is how. You let them ask you to do something for 2 fucking years. Watch one show with me, Chris. 2 years. Watch one show with me, Chris. 2 years. You push them to the edge. You make them eventually rewatch it, and then their own passions and hatred of people who don't want to watch it drives them to doing this themselves. You can say it's my fault. That's fine. You can play this clip, but I've got 2 years of data, sir. Do that for data. Take that for data.
So it's my fault for doing nothing.
You said it. You want it?
This is why you guys have to love our podcast, guys. So you get this kind of joy everywhere we go. And I know we will have at some point Character Corner on Lex. I think we're going to record it later on today, so that'll be out this week as well. And like I said, the mailbag is going to be fun this week. We'll be recording it on Wednesday along with our Flash podcast. So if you want to get anything in there, it might not be released until the end of the month. I think we'll figure it out. It might be released next Friday. We'll record it on Wednesday.
One of those weird months where like everything happens.
Yes. It's weird. So we'll figure out when we're going to release it, but you got to get your emails in. Please get your emails in by Tuesday. Mailbag at mtrnetwork.net, and we'll do that. I know some people have already sent their stuff in.
Got a couple spicy ones.
Yeah, we already got some spicy ones, guys. So keep it spicy. Anyway, folks, we'll be back soon. Peace.